Hey everybody, this is Brian. Welcome back to the shop. We're going to continue on the Willys body tub build. Last week we did the rear cross sill, and that was part one. Today we're going to build the tail light panels, and this is the right side already done. Here's our pattern. And here's a piece of 18 gauge cold rolled that's already been sprayed with layout dye. And I'm just going to scribe around here. Okay, I'll get this scribed and then set up on the bandsaw and come back with you and show you the cutting of this. Okay, here's our piece all laid out. You can see the scribe lines. And it's important to get this as accurate as you can because you're going to use this for bend references later on. So I'm going to go over to the do-all and cut this out on the bandsaw. Okay, here's our piece with the layout die removed. It's cut out on the bandsaw, the burrs are removed, and we're going to go over to the brake and start to put the bends in it now. Our first bend is a 1/2 inch, and our apron is exactly a 1/2 inch, so that'll be our first bend. Okay, there's our first 2 bends, and that's the top of the Jeep there. Now we're going to bend this little section here. Everything has to go in sequence on this, otherwise you get all jammed up and you won't be able to make all your bends. So the sequence is important on how you get this done. So this is bend number 3. And our next bend is going to be right on the edge of our panel, even with our cutout right here. The more accurate you get the cutouts, the easier it is to bend it. So there's bend number 4 coming. And now the 5th bend, you can see the cutout where it's going to line up down here, and right here on our cutout, and that'll give us a 3/4 flange. Just like that. Okay, now this little section is going to get a little bent when I bend it, but we'll hammer that back into shape. Okay, there's 90. Okay, there's that little section hammered down flush. You can see how all our bends worked out here. We're going to go bend this flange on this side, then we'll head over to the box and pan brake to finish up this bottom one down here. Let's get this one in. Okay, you can see we can't make that final bend in this brake, so we'll head over to the finger brake or box and pan, whatever you want to call it, and we'll put this final bend in, and that'll be our tail light panel. Okay, here on the finger brake, I've got 2 little fingers in there, and we'll finish up this bend. Okay, I like it right there. Okay, here's the finished panel. You can see all the bends worked out just nice. So that's our left side. There's our cross sill. There's the right side. So next week I think we'll work on the wheel well houses, and I'll show you how we're going to do that and what kind of machinery we're going to use to do it. Okay, next week we're going to work on the wheelhouse panels, and we're going to do that. We're going to put the beads in with the Pullmax machine, and you can see the die set up in the front. That's for a different project I was working on. Those dies are for a Ford Burma Jeep. But here's our CJ tooling, and this will put the beads in the wheel well, and I'll show you how I do that. And if anybody has any interest in seeing how the tools get made, just shoot me a comment, and I could do a little video on that. But you can see on the side there some different tooling, and most of that is various Willys projects, CJ 2As and 3As and 3Bs, and some CJ 5 tooling and scramblers, and you name it, I've made tooling for it. So that's coming up next week, and tune in then, and we'll get the wheelhouses made.